It's time to break out the highlighters and the colored pens. Today, we tackle BODMAS. Sometimes, this is called BIDMAS or BOMDAS or any other variation, but they all refer to the order you should follow to solve a question that contains more than one operation. It is worth mentioning that this isn't just a section that you learn and then move on from. Think of it like learning to put a full stop at the end of a sentence. It's always done, even after you've learnt about full stops. Likewise, whenever you see a question which contains more than one operation, you need to apply the principle of BODMAS. To help you remember the correct order when solving a question with more than one operation, consider this winner's podium that you see at some sporting events. We have first, second, and third position, and we solve BODMAS in 3 groups, just like you see here. First, we have the B and O in BODMAS, which are the first 2 types of operations that we tackle. The B stands for brackets, and the O stands for of or orders. If you see anything with an I for BIDMAS, then you're working with the word indices, but they're essentially all referring to the same group of operations: roots, exponents, and fractions of whole numbers, commonly known as of sums. Once you have calculated all of these, we then move on to the next group of operations represented by the letters D and M. D stands for divide, and M stands for multiply. Once you've cleared out all the division and multiplication, we then solve the last group of operations, A for add and S for subtract. Let's take a look at this in practice. 36 divided by 7 minus 4 in brackets times 2. We first look out for any brackets or orders. Since brackets are present, we solve the 7 minus 4 first, which gives us an answer of 3. Then we write out all the other numbers and operations that we haven't used in their exact same order as in the question we were given. So in other words, our next step should read 36 divided by 3 times 2. Since our first group of operations is clear, we move on to divide and multiply. In this question, we have both of these operations present. So, which one do I do first? Here we learn about the golden rule. Always work from left to right. Solve whichever one appears first in the question. On this step, division appears before multiplication, so we're going to solve 36 divided by 3 first, which gives us an answer of 12. Now we can do our final step of 12 times 2, leaving us with a final answer of 24. Just because the letter D appears before the M in BODMAS doesn't mean that one comes before the other. They both share second place on the winner's podium, so the only thing that matters is which one appears first in a question. We can see how this works in our next example. 6 times 10 plus 2 in brackets divided by 9. First we inspect to find B and O, and we can see that we have brackets. We solve 10 plus 2 and place the answer of 12 directly underneath, then rewrite all the other numbers in exactly the same place as in the step before. So our second step reads 6 times 12 divided by 9. We have cleared out B and O, so we move on to D and M. Again, we have both divide and multiply present in this question, but as per our golden rule, we solve from left to right. This time, we have multiply appear first before divide, so we need to solve 6 times 12 first. This gives us an answer of 72, which we can now divide by 9, leaving us with a final answer of 8. This golden rule of working from left to right exists for first, second, and third place. Take a look at the next example. 10 plus half of 60 times 3 minus 40. BO says that we should look out for brackets and orders. This time, there are no brackets, but the word of is present. So we solve half of 60 first, which gives us 30. Next, we move on to DM. We only have one of these operations present, so we solve 30 times 3, which gives us 90. Next, we move on to A and S. In this question, addition appears before subtraction, so we add the 10 and the 90. On our final step, we can then subtract the 100 and the 40, leaving us with a final answer of 60. Let's try one more example before you do some on your own. We have brackets present, so 4 plus 16 equals 20. Then move on to DM. In our question, multiplier appears first, so 3 times 20 equals 60. Next, we solve 60 divided by 12, which gives us an answer of 5. Since we have cleared out all the division and multiplication, we can move on to A and S. But in this question, subtraction appears first, so we need to calculate the answer to 64 minus 5. This gives us an answer of 59, so we can now add to 10, leaving us with 69 at the end. Pause the video and try to solve these problems on your own. If you end up with a negative answer, that's okay. Just follow your steps. Check back here when you are done. Let's see how you did. 14 minus 8 times 2 divided by 10 minus 6 in brackets. Since we have brackets, we're going to solve this first, and it gives us an answer of 4. Make sure that all the other numbers appear in the exact same place and that 4 is underneath the brackets at the end. You can't swap around the order as you are solving these questions. Moving on to DM, multiplier appears first in this question, which gives us an answer of 16. Next, we can divide 16 and 4, which gives us 4. Lastly, we are going to subtract 14 and 4, leaving us with 10. Question 2. Step 1. Solve brackets. 92 plus 8 equals 100. Step 2. Divide and multiply. 100 divided by 10 appears first, so we solve this first, leaving us with an answer of 10. Now we can multiply the 7 and the 3, which leaves us with 21. Step 3. Add and subtract. 10 minus 21 is going to leave us with a negative answer. Remember to make use of a number line to help you. From 10 to 0 is 10 jumps to the left. But how many more do we need to get to 21 jumps to the left? That's right, we need to do 11 more jumps. Since the 11 ends up on the left of the 0, our final answer is negative 11. Let's see how you did in the last question. 8 plus 2 in brackets is done first, giving us 10. 4 times 10 appears first in our second group of operations, which gives us 40. Then we can do 18 divided by 3, which gives us 6. In our last group of operations, subtraction appears before addition, and so 40 minus 6 leaves us with 34. We can now add 34 to 10, which gives us a final answer of 44. Making use of color when solving these questions can make it so much easier to follow the correct order, and being intentional with going one step at a time will help ensure that you don't miss out on anything or skip steps. Just always remember the golden rule. Whether you are on step 1 solving B and O, or on step 2 solving D and M, or on step 3 solving A and S, always solve from left to right.